Hello, 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 CFI sweethearts. Welcome to episode 8. Wow, we are moving really quick. It's episode 8 of our very own Coming For You podcast, aka CFY official podcast, with your host, Maximiliana. It's another weekend again and almost the end of July. It feels like yesterday when this month was starting. Oh my God. But yeah, we are here now, almost at the exit. And of course, when July ends, we will be happy to welcome August. And you know what? August is my favorite month of all the time, my birthday month. I can't wait to celebrate my birthday again this year, 2023. Anyway, this weekend on episode 8, I am very delighted because I am hosting a wonderful friend, a wonderful sister. In fact, I must also say she is a wonderful human. She is a sweetheart. And please welcome and introduce yourself.
What a warm welcome. Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here. My name is Pabolo. I am a student at the University of Edinburgh. I am originally from Lesotho, and I'm very happy to be here, actually. I am super excited to be a sweetheart.
You are most welcome. I believe your heart is sweet. That's why you are a sweetheart.
Definitely, honey flows inside me.
Very good.
Thank
All
you.
right. So today, Pabolo and I are going to have a conversation about a topic that is very dear to us. It's about our culture, our languages, our mother tongues. And before we start, just to give you sweethearts a hint, the reason why this is important to us is that we are both in Europe right now. And when we met, we found out that we are speaking the same language, that is the Swahili language, which is predominantly spoken in the eastern parts of Africa and other parts of Africa, of course, and other parts of the world too. But in Southern Africa, there are other languages that are so many, and you might find that one person in the southern part of Africa can speak more than 5 languages. So, Pabolo, tell us, what language do you guys speak in Lesotho?
In Lesotho, we speak Sesotho, but there are other parts of Lesotho where people speak isiXhosa, but mostly Basotho people speak Sesotho.
Oh, that's wonderful. And can you share with us about your experience studying in Tanzania and your journey learning Swahili on top of the 3 languages that you speak?
In all honesty, my confidence will be in my native language, which is Sesotho, and then English. But I do understand when someone is speaking isiZulu, isiXhosa, and when someone is speaking in Sepedi and Setswana. Definitely, when you speak, I might not be confident enough to respond in Setswana, but Setswana and Sesotho and Sepedi are very similar languages. And I also realized lately that I also understand Selozi, which is spoken in Zambia, because it's like an extract of the southern Sesotho.
Wow,
Yes.
that's actually very interesting.
Yeah.
I can't imagine me understanding all those languages.
Recently, I've been learning a bit of Chichewa, so I'm not yet there, but I'm understanding a bit. It was just out of my own interest, because now I was getting close to someone who was speaking Chichewa, so I ended up just having an interest to learn it.
That's very interesting. As you are coming from the southern part of Africa, that is Lesotho, how did you become interested to learn Swahili language? Was it very easy for you to learn?
My journey with Swahili is quite funny, because the time when I was going to Tanzania to live there was because I was going to study. So I knew that I was going to study in English, so it wasn't mandatory for me to learn Swahili. But obviously, there will be social groups where I would want to fit into. Like in my class, I needed to have my group for discussion. I needed to hang out with people. Like there are the social groups where maybe girls go out and they share stories, or maybe people go out to certain events and there's Swahili being spoken. So for me, it wasn't so easy, to be honest, but it wasn't even difficult either, because I started learning. I was only able to speak Swahili after 2 years being in Tanzania, only because I didn't really show interest of saying I was studying, I was asking people. It was just random learning, because I would say one word and people would correct me. So I had a lot of teachers around me. Everyone was my teacher, literally, because if I say mambo and suppose I didn't say it properly, someone even just the vendor, someone who's selling some things in the street, would tell me, no, that's not how you say it. You say it this way. So yeah, the journey was very awe-inspiring because it came in bits and bits and bits of learning. At the end, I realized that I knew so many words and I was able to confidently now make sentences, and then it grew up into conversations. And yeah. So it was a really interesting journey for me. So I can say it started well when I was doing my internship, and I think I should just put it out there that I was learning veterinary medicine, which is to become an animal doctor. So when we were doing our practicals, they were telling me to hold the cow by the horn. So this cow was running and I had to hold it by the horn. So they were like, Shika Pembe. So I didn't understand what they were saying. I just started running next to the cow, like, what? And they were like, Shika Mkia, because now the cow had literally run in front of me. So they were saying, hold it by the tail. So
Yeah.
I didn't understand. I was like, what? And everyone was laughing. So that's when I literally took time to start at least learning the parts of the body of the animal.
I find this very, very funny because it now became mandatory for you to learn, because
Yes.
otherwise your life was going to be difficult there.
Definitely. It was a desperate moment. I had to learn Swahili, and it was for my benefit. At first, I was a little bit hostile. I was like, why is everyone telling me, you must learn Swahili? You must learn Swahili. Why are they forcing me? But at the end, I realized that I'm actually doing this for myself. I'm going to learn Swahili for me. So, yeah.
Okay, that's quite very interesting. I don't know how to really explain that, but I came here in Ireland for the past 2 years now, and to be honest, even I tried to learn the Irish language, but I know nothing about it. From what you explained to me, I feel like maybe there would be some similarities somehow in languages that you speak in the South Africa or Lesotho in your country and the Swahili language. Do you think so?
Yes, there are similarities. And honestly, when you first arrive or when you first hear the language, it's difficult to hear the similarities because the pronunciation is quite fast. So when I got to Tanzania, I was like, these people are speaking so fast. I can't learn one word. I don't know what is the word. I don't know how to separate the words. And it's just so long. I don't hear anything. But with familiarity, you end up realizing that these words come out the same. It's just the different, maybe accent or the pronunciation of the word. For example, when you say the lips or the mouth, you say mdomo in Swahili, right?
Mm.
Say mulomo.
Oh yeah,
So
I see the similarity there.
yes, but then we speak Sesotho is quite slow, so we say mulomo, and in Swahili it's mdomo, and then you go quickly. And ulimi is tongue, and in Sesotho is lilimi.
Okay, yeah, it's similar to ulimi, Swahili. Okay,
Yes,
I see
yes,
now. Yeah, wow, interesting.
yes. So yeah, so many other words, like when you say four, you say nne, we say nne. So that one is similar, 100% similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there
Okay.
are similarities, yes.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Being in Tanzania for your studies and stuff like that, did you learn any fun or crazy terminologies that you can share here with us?
I think what was funny mostly was that some words are similar, but they mean something totally different where I come from. Quite unfortunately, some words, they're not friendly words, let me say that, like swear words where I come from. But then in Swahili, they are like okay words. Like kaka is meaning brother. For us, kaka is like poop.
Oh my God, I see.
I just hear everyone calling each other kaka, kaka, kaka. So to me, it was funny. Like, why is everyone calling each other poop? Yeah. And same as kuku. Kuku means the woman's private part. So in Swahili, it means chicken.
Yeah.
I went to Tanzania with a brother from Lesotho, and he couldn't buy chicken because he couldn't say it in, in Swahili. It was difficult for him. So he would ask me to order in for him. It's like, can you please order chicken for me? So I would just go and say, Dada, naomba kuku, because he couldn't say, Dada, can I please have kuku?
Because it will be like he's asking for something else.
Yes,
Oh
but
my
I
god.
think my favorite phrase would be kukula bata, when people are saying they're enjoying life and they're saying they're eating a duck. So
Mm.
I really love that that phrase to say
Yeah,
tunakula bata.
yeah. Young people do introduce their own ways of using language. Now that you are in the UK, how often do you use Swahili language? And how often do you meet Swahili speakers in the UK?
Well, being here in the UK, I do not speak as much Swahili as I want to. I wanted to speak Swahili more so that I don't forget the language, obviously. But luckily, I do have friends over. I have friends from Kenya, friends from Tanzania. So it's not very often, but I do have people that I speak Swahili with. The quite unfortunate part is when they want to speak in English and I want to speak in Swahili. So that it's quite inconveniencing. And I always complain to them, like, why are you always speaking in English? Let's speak Swahili. So whenever I meet someone and maybe I ask them, like, where do you come from? And I realize that they're coming from a Swahili speaking country, I always say, tuache Kiingereza sasa, tuonge Swahili, tuachane na Kiingereza. So yeah, I really love speaking
Mm.
Swahili, but it doesn't come as often as I'd hoped. And I think I try to keep talking in Swahili whenever possible, so that I don't forget the language.
Very interesting to hear. And you know,
Mm.
the reason why people speak English when they come here is because they want to master English. When I came here myself, I was so insecure about ability to speak English because I'm
Mm.
in a new country. Nobody here speaks Swahili, especially, of course, with the friends that came from East Africa just like me. So you are trying to learn hard to be fluent in English because everything is English. But anyway, when we speak Swahili, that becomes very fun and we enjoy. We are more comfortable, you know, and also we have a lot of ways to use it, you know. But when we use English, it's like we are limited. It's
Yeah.
very difficult to use English all the time, you know. I remember when I came here, the first few months, it was
Mhm.
even giving me headache. Yeah, when I come
I'm
back
so
home
sorry.
after maybe school, I am so exhausted. My head is aching because I have to use a lot of my brain to articulate what people are saying and stuff like that. It's very crazy. But yeah, I used to have headaches. But now I'm trying, you know, a little bit, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I think your English is fine. It's perfectly well.
Yeah, I'm still learning, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, we can speak about how important it is for us to preserve our culture, especially our language, now that we are out here and there's a potential that we are not using it.
I think language is another way of expressing people's uniqueness. So it's important to maintain your uniqueness wherever you are and not to feel like you have to fit in totally in someone's world, because that's not your world. If you are a Swahili speaker, it doesn't matter where you are at or where you're going, just express your uniqueness, and it might turn out that other people might be interested in learning about you more than wanting you to adapt to their own world. So language is a very powerful form of showing people that you also accommodate and love who they are, because I realized that I also got a lot of friends after learning Swahili, because they realized, oh, this one, she's one of us, she literally likes us, and they would actually call me that, now you have graduated to become a Tanzanian because you can speak Swahili. So it's important to learn the languages, because even the way people express themselves, you also learn the softness of the people or the values of the people through their language. I learned that Swahili speakers are people who are very accommodating, and they like to invite people to take part in certain things that they're doing. Like, I think the word karibu is used a lot in Swahili, which means welcome. So when someone is eating, they're always saying welcome, welcome. So I realized that these people are very welcoming in their lives, like more than any other cultures that I've been exposed to. So learning a language can show you what people stand for more than just what you can see or what you can hear from other people. So yeah, I think it's important to also preserve the language. And I realize that there's a rising drift of people not teaching their children their mother tongue language. I don't think that is nice, because now when the child is grown up, they won't really relate fully with who they are and what their forefathers and their parents have been taught to stand by. So I think language is a very important to teach people about a certain community or a certain group of people that are speaking that same language. Yeah,
I quite agree. You articulated that very well with a high level of, insights. Thank you very much, Pabolo. Now that we are in our platform and we can as well speak our language.
kweli jamani.
I'm also very tired right now.
Kabisa, kutoka mwanzoni tungeongea Kiswahili tuachane na Kiingereza.
Tungeongea tu Kiswahili tukajua moja jamani.
Hata njaa tunapata.
Manake najikunja nahangaika hapa, na kati tunaweza tukazungumza tu Kiswahili tukamaliza.
Kweli.
Unajua siku tumekutana,
ndio
kwanza aisee nikushukuru sana rafiki yangu. Yaani nilipokuja Uingereza nilipokea vizuri wewe. Mara ya kwanza nilijua wewe unatokea Kenya. Kiswahili chako nikasema huyu atakuwa ni Mkenya huyu.
Ni Mkenya.
Lakini uliposema unatokea Lesotho, nikasema huyu kweli anatokea Lesotho au anazingua huyu?
Kuna mkaka hapo wa Mkenya, hata leo anakataa nikimwambia kwamba mimi natoka Lesotho. Anajua kama namdanganya wapi. Anasema wewe Mkenya.
Yeah, ilikuwa yani nilifurahi sana kwa kweli, tulikuwa na wakati mzuri sana. Nilifurahi mno.
Na mimi nilifurahi. Wewe una mavibe.
Una mavibe.
Ndio, and I'm planning to even come over that side soon.
You should. I say kwa kweli uje tu. Kuna namna nyingine. Mwenyeji wako niko hapa, nitakupokea.
Asante sana nitakwambia.
So thank you very much, Pabolo, for joining me for this conversation. I think it was a very important conversation. And thank you very much for those who have subscribed to our CFI official podcast YouTube channel. And I am requesting those who have not yet subscribed to kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are also using the same name on Instagram. Just search CFI official podcast. Just to let you know that when you subscribe, you validate our work, and it will mean that we are more motivated to host more meaningful conversation. Thank you so much to all our CFI sweethearts for listening to this podcast. Bye bye. See you on our next episode.
Because nobody does better like us. We got no money but always we happy. We show our swag everywhere we party. Come join us, show your swag. Because nobody does better like us. We got no money but always we happy. We show our swag everywhere we party.